Back in 2013, Beautiful Creatures hit theaters, a movie that promised to be the next big young adult saga, in the style of Twilight or The Hunger Games. It had all the right ingredients: a forbidden romance, a hidden magical world, and an ancient curse. But something didn't click. The film received mixed reviews, failed to connect with a broad audience, and the franchise was abandoned. The story was left unfinished, at least on screen. Because what many don't know is that Beautiful Creatures is just the first chapter of a 4-book literary saga known as the Caster Chronicles. And what follows after the movie is darker, more epic, and more emotional. Today I'm going to tell you everything that happens in books 2, 3, and 4. The real story of Beautiful Creatures, the one the movie never showed you. The story takes place in Gatlin, a small conservative town in the American South, where Ethan Watt, an ordinary teenager dreaming of escaping his monotonous life, starts having strange dreams about a mysterious girl. He soon finds out that the girl is real. Her name is Lena Duchans, a newcomer in town, and the niece of the enigmatic Macon Ravenwood, the most feared and reclusive man in the community. Lena is a caster, meaning she comes from a family with magical powers, and she's about to turn 16, a crucial age in her world, because that's when she'll be claimed by either the light or the dark, which will determine her fate as a spellcaster. Unlike other casters, Lena doesn't get to choose her path. She'll be forced to join one side based on her true nature. As Ethan and Lena grow closer, they face the disapproval of Gatlin's townsfolk and the threat of powerful dark casters, including Seraphine, Lena's mother, and Ridley, her cousin. In the final confrontation, Lena believes that Ethan has died during the magical reenactment of the Battle of Honey Hill, but she later discovers that the one who actually died was Macon Ravenwood, her uncle, who sacrificed himself by taking Ethan's form to save her and partially break the curse that was forcing her toward the dark. Devastated and afraid that the caster world will continue to endanger Ethan, Lena decides to erase his memories of their relationship, to protect him from both heartbreak and the magical conflict surrounding them. The movie ends several months later. Ethan, apparently with no memory of Lena, stops by the library before leaving town with Link to visit colleges. Lena gives him a book filled with meaning, and although he doesn't seem to recognize her, there's a hint of a connection. On the road, Ethan drives past the Gatlin welcome sign and sees it has been magically altered. Suddenly, he remembers Lena and calls out her name. She hears him from afar, suggesting their bond is stronger than any spell. The conflict is far from over, but their love persists, even beyond magic. Beautiful Darkness begins with Macon's funeral in the Gatlin cemetery, where Ethan watches Lena consumed by grief and isolation. During the service, an incubus named John Breed gives Lena a small silver sparrow, an object whose true meaning is revealed later. As the days go by, Lena grows increasingly distant, avoiding Ethan and spending time with her cousin Ridley and the mysterious John. Forced by her grandmother, Lena returns to school in time for final exams, but things don't get any better between her and Ethan. In fact, the two of them often argue, especially over Lena's relationship with John Breed. Worried about Lena's erratic behavior, Ethan starts having strange visions and dreams that make him question his connection to the caster world. These visions lead him to uncover a complex network of underground tunnels beneath Gatlin, known as the Caster Tunnels, a place where reality and magic intertwine in unexpected ways. In his quest to understand what's going on, Ethan turns to Olivia, Liv Durand, a guardian in training working with Marion Ashcroft at the Gatlin Library. Liv knows the caster world inside out and quickly becomes one of Ethan's most important allies. Liv and Marion reveal to Ethan that he, too, is connected to the world of casters. He's a wayward, a mortal, whose purpose is to guide a specific caster with whom he shares an unbreakable bond. Ethan becomes convinced that the caster he's bonded to is Lena, and he sets out to find her. Together with Link, Ethan's best friend, they venture deep into the caster tunnels to find Lena and uncover the truth behind her strange behavior. The three arrive at a Caster bar where they find Lena dancing in John Breed's arms. Enraged, Ethan storms off and, in a moment of anger, almost kisses Liv, only to pull away at the last second. Back in Gatlin, Ethan tries to patch things up with Lena, but she reveals she's leaving town and casts a spell that prevents Ethan from telling anyone about it. After her disappearance, Ethan and Liv come to realize that Seraphine is behind it all, trying to force Lena's 17th moon and the choice that comes with it. Eventually, Ethan and his friends return to the Caster tunnels and find Lena in the middle of a dark ceremony led by her mother, Seraphine, who is attempting to force her to embrace her dark nature. In a moment of courage and love, Ethan intervenes, reminding Lena who she really is and of the powerful bond they share. Faced with choosing between light and dark, Lena defies all expectations and claims both light and dark, knowing that choosing just one would mean the death of everyone in her family on the other side. They also manage to bring Macon back from the dead. He is resurrected. After the confrontation, the group returns to Gatlin, but the aftermath leaves lasting scars. Link undergoes a shocking transformation after being bitten by John Breed, beginning his journey into becoming an incubus. Meanwhile, Ridley loses her siren powers, leaving her vulnerable and resentful. Ethan and Lena try to rebuild their relationship, fully aware that the choices they made have irreversibly changed their lives and the balance of the magical world. Beautiful chaos. Following the events of Beautiful Darkness, Gatlin plunges into chaos like never before. Catastrophic natural phenomena, plagues of locusts, record-breaking heat waves, and devastating storms ravage the town, mirroring the imbalance caused by Lena's decision to claim both light and dark. Meanwhile, Ethan Watt begins to experience disturbing changes. He suffers from memory loss, forgetting names and important moments, and is plagued by recurring nightmares in which a mysterious figure chases him. His appetite and personal tastes also change drastically, causing him to question his own identity. Concerned about these symptoms, Ethan begins to search for answers and uncovers a chilling truth. His soul is split. During his earlier resurrection, his spirit was brought back too quickly, leaving a part of it trapped in the other world. This fragmentation is the source of his current issues, and if left unresolved, he could lose himself entirely. At the same time, Amma, Ethan's maternal figure, begins acting increasingly erratic and dark. It's revealed she made a dangerous pact to protect Ethan, adding yet another layer of tension and mystery to the story. Things in Gatlin grow even worse when caster powers begin to fail unpredictably. Even the most basic spells turn dangerous, putting the entire magical community at risk. Amid this chaos, a prophecy emerges, one that speaks of the One Who Is Two, a figure whose sacrifice is required to restore balance and repair the broken order. At first, everyone believes this figure is Lena because of her dual nature, but they later discover it can't be her. Lena is destined to unite the new order, but only after this person is sacrificed. Eventually, it's revealed that the true One Who Is Two is Ethan. With this revelation, Ethan faces a heartbreaking decision. He realizes that in order to save Gatlin and everyone he loves, he must sacrifice himself. In an emotional farewell, he spends one final night with Lena, exchanging symbolic gifts. Ethan gives her a map marked with all the places he once dreamed of visiting, and Lena gives him her necklace of memories. At dawn, Ethan heads to the Gatlin Water Tower, the place chosen for the sacrifice. There, he prepares to jump, only to be stopped by the other half of his soul. The two halves struggle until they fall together from the tower, crashing to the ground, fulfilling the prophecy and restoring balance to the caster world, but not before Ethan has one last thought of Lena. After Ethan Watt's sacrifice, he wakes up in a dreamlike version of his home, Watt's Landing, in the other world. There, he's reunited with his mother, Lila Evers Watt, offering him a fleeting sense of peace. But his longing for Lena Duchan's and the people he loves pushes him to search for a way back to the land of the living. Meanwhile, in Gatlin, Lena is devastated by Ethan's loss. She's determined to do whatever it takes to bring him back, even if it means teaming up with old enemies or risking the safety of her family and friends. In the other world, Ethan learns that his death wasn't meant to happen. His Aunt Prudence Prue Statham reveals that in order to return, he must remove his page from the Caster Chronicles. a mystical book that records the fates of all casters and mortals. The book is guarded within the gates of the Keeper, located in the distant Far Keep. To reach it, Ethan must obtain 2 river eyes, smooth black stones that will allow him to cross the Great River and reach the gates. Ethan secures the first river eye from Sola the Prophet, one of the greats. The second is in Lena's possession, given to her by her great-aunt Twilight. Through hidden messages and crossword puzzles published in the local newspaper The Stars and Stripes, Ethan manages to reach Lena and asks her to send him the second stone. With help from Exu, a crow sent by his uncle Abner, Ethan navigates the other world and encounters the River Master, who allows him to cross after Ethan wins a game of blackjack. On the other side, he meets Xavier, the Gatekeeper, a former keeper exiled for defying the experiments of Angelus, the Far Keep's ruthless leader. Xavier agrees to guide Ethan to the gates in exchange for something of immeasurable value. Meanwhile, Lena, alongside John Breed, Macon Ravenwood, and Link, ventures out to retrieve Abraham Ravenwood's Book of Moons. After a dangerous confrontation, they recover the book and, through a ritual, send it to the otherworld for Ethan to use as payment for Xavier. Upon receiving the book, Xavier leads Ethan to the gates, where he must pass through a labyrinth guarded by Seraphine Duchan, Lena's mother, who's been condemned to that fate by Angelus. In a surprising act of redemption, Seraphine sacrifices herself so Ethan can move forward. Inside the keep, Ethan confronts Angelus, who has been manipulating destinies for his own gain. In a battle of courage and cleverness, Ethan manages to tear his page from the Caster Chronicles, defeating Angelus and securing his return to the mortal world. Ethan wakes up back at the water tower, where he's reunited with Lena. However, he learns that Amma, his maternal figure, has traded her life for his, joining the greats in the beyond. The town of Gatlin mourns her loss, but Ethan and Lena find comfort in their rekindled love and the restored balance in their lives. And if you're still craving more, trust me, there's plenty. Because the Caster Chronicles didn't end there. There are still spin-offs, companion novels, and hidden secrets waiting to be told. But that is another story. Let me know in the comments what other topics you'd like to see covered on the channel. And remember, if you enjoy this type of video, the best way to support me is by leaving a like, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell. See you in the next video.